Hi friends, Pastor Jay here. I wanted to take a minute to wish you Merry Christmas. Now, maybe you're wondering why I'm wishing you Merry Christmas today instead of last week when Christmas was. Maybe you're done opening all your presents and maybe you had a chance to see your family last week in person or on the computer. And maybe you think Christmas is over, but I wanted to remind you that Christmas is a whole season. We celebrate Christmas in church for 12 whole days. We still get to celebrate long after even New Year's Day. We celebrate until next Wednesday on the 6th of January. And you'll hear more about that from me throughout the next few days. But I wanted to take a minute here and here in the church where you see we're all still decorated for Christmas to talk a little bit about the decorations that we use. You see, we use special flowers at Christmas time, and Christmas is the only time that we use flowers that look kind of like this. These flowers are called poinsettias, that's what we call them, and we only use them at Christmas time. And there's a reason why we use them now, and that's because this is the only time of year that they bloom. That means this is the only time of year that they have flowers on them. And so we use them now to remind us that there's always life and there's always beauty, even when sometimes outside all it is snowy and gray. But there's a story that I wanted to share with you, and it's called The Legend of the Poinsettia. It's retold by Tommy DePaula, who also drew the pictures, but he's retelling it because he heard it from friends of his from Mexico, which is where poinsettias are from originally. If you don't know where Mexico is, maybe mom or dad or a friend can show you on a map where Mexico is and where we are here in Philadelphia, but it's not that far away from us. But I wanted to share this story with you, and I'll share a few more stories for the rest of the Christmas season for even more of our 12 days that we're celebrating together. But I wanted to take a minute here where we're decorated with poinsettias to share this story. Lucida lived in a small village high up in the mountains of Mexico with her mama, her papa, and her younger brother and sister, Paco and Lupe. Papa worked in the field with their burro, Pepito. Every evening, Lucida fed Pepito, gave him fresh water, and filled his stall with clean straw. At home, Lucida helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and pat out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgin of Guadalupe near the front gate to see if fresh candles were needed. But every day was not work. On Sundays, the family went to San Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass, and all through the year there were fiestas and holy days, which always began with a procession that wound through the village and ended in San Gabriel. One day, close to Christmas, La Navidad, Padre Alvarez came to their casita. "Ah, Señora Martinez, buenos dias." "Good day." Padre Alvarez said, "I am here to ask you about the blanket which covers the figure of the baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We have used the same one for so many years that it is almost worn out. Because your weaving is so fine, I have come to ask if you would make a new one." "Mi padre," Lucida's mother said, "I would be honored, and Lucida will help me." On Saturday, Lucida and Mama went to the market to buy the wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yarn they could find. At home, Lucida helped Mama dye the wool, the colors of the rainbow. "Those colors will shine throughout the church," Papa said, as he watched Lucida and Mama string the yarn on the loom. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was busy. All the mamas were making gifts to place at the manger of the baby Jesus in the church. The papas worked together, putting up the manger scene in San Gabriel. Lucida and the other children went to the church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel singing and carrying candles. Once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of the baby Jesus in the manger, and the villagers would go up and place their gifts around it. "Our gift will be the blanket for the baby Jesus," Lucida told her friends. "I am helping Mama weave it." One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucida and the children were singing in the church when Senora Gomez came hurrying in. "Lucida, you must come home. Your mama is sick and your papa has taken her down to the town to see the doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your papa returns tonight." Lucida was frightened. Mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were frightened too. Lucida tried to comfort them. She made some food and sat down to wait for Papa. That evening, Papa came in looking tired and worried. He drew Lucida close and said, "Lucida, mi niña, your mama is ill. Your aunt, Tia Carmen, will take care of Mama until she is well, but I must go back and stay with her until I can bring her home. But it won't be until after Christmas. Senora Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I am gone. She will come for you tomorrow." The next afternoon, Lucida overheard two women talking. "Lucida's mama is ill. She won't be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Isn't it a shame?" "See," the other woman said, "we are so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use the old worn-out one." When Lucida went home to feed Pepito and get clothes for Paco and Lupe and herself, she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. "Perhaps I can finish it," she thought. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the worse it got. It was no use. She could never finish it by herself. She took the unfinished blanket to Senora Gomez. "Oh, Lucida, it is so tangled. There isn't time for me to fix it," Senora Gomez told her. "Tomorrow is Christmas Eve." Lucida started to cry. It was her fault the blanket was ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift to place at the manger of the baby Jesus. "Don't worry, Lucida. We will all go to the procession together." Lucida didn't say anything, but in her heart she felt that she had ruined Christmas. Do you think she ruined Christmas? I don't think anybody can ruin Christmas. "Come, Paco. Come, Lupe. It is time to go to the procession," Senora Gomez called on Christmas Eve. "But where is Lucida?" Lucida was nowhere to be found. She was hiding. From the shadows, Lucida watched everyone gather for the procession. The candles were lit, the singing began, and the villagers walked to San Gabriel carrying gifts to place at the manger. Lucida walked along in the darkness and watched the procession go into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez carrying the baby Jesus. "Little girl, are you Lucida?" An old woman stood in the shadows nearby. "Si," Lucida answered, wondering who she was. "I have a message for you. Your mama is going to be fine and your papa will bring her home soon, so you don't have to worry. Go now into the church and celebrate Christmas with the others. Paco and Lupe are waiting for you." "I can't," Lucida told her. "I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus. Mama and I were weaving a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried, but I only tangled it all up." "Ah, Lucida, any gift is beautiful because it is given," the old woman told her. "Whatever you give, the baby Jesus will love because it comes from you." "But what can I give now?" Lucida asked, looking around. A patch of tall green weeds grew in a tangle nearby. Lucida rushed over and picked an armful. "Do you think these will be all right?" Lucida turned to ask the old woman, but she was gone. Lucida walked into the church. It was blazing with candlelight, and the children were singing as she walked quietly down the aisle with a bundle of green weeds in her arms. "What is Lucida carrying?" a woman whispered. "Why is she bringing weeds into the church?" Another one murmured. Lucida reached the manger scene. She placed the green weeds around the stable, then she lowered her head and prayed. A hush fell over the church. Voices began to whisper, "Look, look at the weeds." Lucida opened her eyes and looked up. Each weed was tipped with a flaming red star. The manger glowed and shimmered as if lit by 100 candles. When everyone went outside after the Mass, all the clumps of tall green weeds throughout the town were shining with red stars. Lucida's simple gift had indeed become beautiful. And every Christmas, to this day, the red stars shine on top of green branches in Mexico. The people call the plants La Flor de Nochebuena, the flower of the Holy Night, what we call the Poinsettia. So I hope that you still have your Christmas decorations up, and maybe if you don't have a poinsettia in your house, maybe you have a Christmas tree or other decorations. Maybe you have Christmas lights you can still turn on. But I hope that you still are decorated and celebrating Christmas, because we still have 6 more days to celebrate. So, in the meantime, I'm going to wish you a Merry Christmas from here at church with all of our poinsettias, and I know that I'll talk to you soon. Merry Christmas!